Hello. I'm gonna wait for a little bit of people to come in before I tell about last night's little story. But anyways, I did get a donation of insulin. I put a Facebook thing on, and somebody from one of the groups, whatever, had an extra pen, so they let me have a pen. So at least I have insulin for a little while now. That's a plus. Oh, it was a crazy night last night. I didn't sleep very much at all. I gotta go back to work tomorrow. That'll be exciting. So not being on for 2 days, but without insulin, I was very sick, and I did not feel like going to the hospital because that's all they're going to do is just rack up more stuff on my credit. So I didn't go to the hospital, but I did, like I said, I did get insulin, so that is very helpful. And once we get into, once a few more people show up or whatnot, then I'll tell about last night's crazy story. It got really weird and crazy fast. But that's part of being homeless and diabetic has nothing to do with it, but being homeless, living in a van, it's crazy out here. It's not a safe world we live in. And Cocoa itself is, listed as one of the top 5 most dangerous cities in Florida. So, I mean, it's not like it's the best place. And I knew that coming here, but I also never stayed in my van out here. I was on the water, and it was a lot more peaceful. This, not so much peaceful, but it's all right. I'm gonna have to work on it. I'm still at the same spot where it all happened, but I don't know. I just don't know where else to park right now. I think after we're done with this job, we might go to a different town in Florida, one that's a little bit safer, just because I don't want to wake up like I did last night. Again, that was pretty sketchy. But health-wise, since I've had my insulin, I do feel a little bit better. Hopefully I can sleep tonight because I have to work tomorrow. I got to be to work at 8 o'clock, finish up that job over there. And another reason why I'm thinking about just going to a different town is with the neighborhood thing, with that lady screwing up everything, it kind of screwed up my income. I'm posting everywhere on Facebook, but it gets bleeded out so fast. So if I go to a better town that's a little bit safer, I'm thinking Sarasota, which I've lived in before as well, which is 10 times wealthier than it is here, and it's a lot more work. I should have went there in the first place, but like I said, this was a place I knew. This was the last place I lived, but I was easily able to get work in Sarasota too, so I might end up going over there after we finish this job. It's about 170 miles, so I'll have fuel for to get there and all that, and still have a little bit of fuel left over to try to find work. But I'm just not lining up as much as I thought I would here right away. Biggest thing is I don't have a trailer and things like that. Hauling junk I was good at, getting leads at. The other stuff, it's not like a whole lot of people, are rushing to need me or whatever here. It's kind of saturated here. I mean, it's saturated everywhere in Florida. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but it's hard, and it being so dangerous over here makes it a little bit less uncomfortable, It's already hard enough living in a van and being a diabetic and doing all these things, and then you add, crazy stuff happening. It's just weird. But now that we have a few people in here, I'll go ahead and explain. I'll perhaps more people ask. I'll let I'll explain more too what happened last night. So last night I was sleeping, like I normally do in the back of the van, and I heard some noise around the van, and then I looked up the side, and there's a person trying to get through my window. Luckily I don't have luckily they didn't have a gun, because all I have is I have this really large sword and it's really sharp. It's like not like it's a prop sword. It's that's all I have. It's like a machete sword type thing. It's kind of weird. I'll show it to you guys one day. And I banged on the side of the van to let him know somebody's in here, and made him go away. But then he after he tried breaking into my van, then he went over to there's a Goodies Home Furnishing right next to me, a Buddy's, sorry, not Goodies, and then he tried breaking into their truck. After he unsuccessfully did that, he went over to the store and started ripping plywood off their walls, trying to break into the store. He was definitely on something. He was not in his right mind. You could tell by the way he was moving and acting that he was definitely on some type of drug, and just definitely tweaked out on something. I don't know. But it was very sketchy. And if he would have had a gun, I mean, he could have shot me right there, and that could have sucked. So, not feeling exactly the safest where I'm parked right now. But luckily, it did, the cops didn't even do anything. They didn't even show up. So, like, I think they drove by or whatever and they didn't see anything, so they just left. But yeah, it's crazy, definitely crazy. But this area is just, a bit worse than like I said, I was living on my, a boat or in a house, so I didn't realize, exactly how bad it is right here. But, I mean, like, all night you can hear it, like, off and on throughout the night, you'll hear gunshots and everything like that. Like, so I think it's just, better to go to, and like I said, it's the rate. I didn't even know this until I looked it up last night after all this was happening. I was looking up the crime statistics here. That's the fifth worst by capita crime rate there is in Florida. So I'm going to where it's the 41st ranked. So I think that's the plan. I don't want shit like that to happen. I don't need that. I'm not trying to get hurt. I just want to live, and I just don't feel safe here. So it's gonna be a little nerve-wracking tonight sleeping. Hopefully he's not back around trying to break in other crap, or somebody else that's it's just, this place is just loaded with drugs. Anywhere you go is gonna be loaded with drugs, but this place is just out of control, and the police don't care. They're really strict, but they just don't care about the side of the town. They care about the beach side of town. They care about the nice neighborhood side of town. Once you're over here, and I can't park anymore over there, I'll go to jail. So that's crazy. Yes, I got a pen. A pen will last me a few weeks. So I put a Facebook ad out, and that I still got to try to save up for a cooler, and so I can get my regular insulin, because that's not gonna last me forever, but it's a good start. That gives me a few weeks to try to figure it out now. And I did get that that $10 donation. I do appreciate that. It's still in my savings towards once I need the insulin. I haven't touched any of that. So like I said, my next saving for anybody who contributes is going to be towards a cooler, ice, and a stockpile of insulin, so I can figure that out. I'm getting tired of these comments of people saying get it yourself or do all this. It's not like I'm not trying, but when you only have limited income and you're sick and you're trying to work the best you can, you got rude people. I just don't understand. Let them be, homeless with no money, and then on top of that, have to have a medicine that if you don't have will kill you, and then say that stuff. So I just, some of these comments just almost make me not want to do this, but I still do it just because, I know there's good in people still, and I know that, like, I don't sit here and beg for money. I have my donation links up there, and then I make a post every once in a while, and it's if you want to. So I mean, it's so stupid. It's just getting so common, and it's just so annoying. It's like I try my hardest, and when I'm sick, I'm sick. I can't control being sick. I didn't ask for diabetes. I didn't ask to get really, really sick. I mean, like, so, some diabetics are great. No every case is the same. Some diabetics are fully functional, and I'm functionable. But it's if I take care of myself. And to take care of myself, that costs a lot of money to eat right and to do all these things and to have all the proper care that I need, which I don't have. So until I can actually get that, I'm going to be a lot sicker. So I mean, like, there's plenty of people who live in a great home. Hey, kitten, how you doing? That live in a great home and have all these things and can take care of their sickness. I can't cook. I can't store foods. I can't do a whole lot of things. I can't shower properly. I can't, I don't have the money for this. So I have to eat poorly, which affects my health, which affects my working ability, which I still go out and work, but I just feel horrible while I do it. And it just limits me a lot, Last night was absolutely crazy, so I'm surprised that, I'll have to take some pictures or something of the plate. He was literally ripping down boards off the wall after he tried to break in the van. It was crazy. But, I don't want to live in that atmosphere either. I don't want to sit there and have to, defend my home, because this is my home, every night, just because somebody wants, to try to steal my vehicle or, see what's inside my vehicle. Absolutely nuts. But let's see, hold on one second. But at least I got work tomorrow. Like I said, I got to be there at 8, so I'm gonna have to go to bed early tonight. I just hope I can sleep tonight. And it sucks because I got to sleep with my windows all the way up, which makes it hot in this place. Yeah, it's exactly what happened here. I mean, it's like they didn't care. This person's literally trying to break in my vehicle, then another vehicle, and why I'm in the vehicle, and then a store, and it's just like they don't care. As long as it's not happening to the rich part of town, they don't care. It's just sad, and I don't want to live in an environment like that. So like I said, it's not that far. It's just on the other side of Florida. And I know that place too. And that place is, like I said, it's not the best place in the world, but it's ranked 41st instead of 5th worst, The police are a bit more strict over there. Sarasota is a very beautiful, beautiful city. Beautiful. Absolutely one of the best looking towns there is in there. Coco's okay, but it's not anything compared to that. I think there'll be a lot more to see and show over there as well. And I already know work will be way better. I know a group out there that when I first lost my company here and all that, they actually helped me, and I know I can go back to them and get they help me with this. They don't like give me support, but they give me they help me figure out everything to do, and they're very very good people. So. I already have a connection out there for that too, so. But I haven't made my mind 100% sure, but I think it's for the best because, like I said, with that lady screwing up my neighborhood act, that's where I got all my work, so now I can't even do it here, and if I try to redo it here, she's just going to cause problems. I know she's going to. Just that type of lady. And I'm not getting any other leads, it's like, I can't live off of 1 day of work a week, I mean, that gets me through for the week, but that doesn't get me anywhere past that. I can live off a day's wage for a while, for a week or whatever, roughly, but that's it. I can't save, I can't better my situation, I can't eat more than once, I can't do a whole lot of anything, and that's only because I'm going to be able to eat because I'm getting my food stamps in a few days. If it wasn't for that, and this little place over here that helps a little bit with food, which isn't very good, and it's not very much. I'm eating like snacks and stuff like that, and a sandwich here and there. But it's something, I'm just proud to be eating and happy to be eating. But 2 more days, the food stamps come in, so that'll last for a little while. Be happy about that. So, I'll just have to worry about fuel, and I got to get there. Insurance is taken care of for a while. I have till next month. I have another month on that. I still don't know what's going on with my phone. I know she's not paying the bill because there's an email that comes, because Verizon messages both phones and says what the bill is, and it's stupid high. It's like $500, which is her responsibility to tell me what I have to pay, which I don't even have the money anyway, so couldn't really. But it's not like I feel bad because she screwed me over. But worst comes to worst, I'll have the tablet, still, so I'll just have to find Wi-Fi and go live, and try to make phone calls that way. Just have people message me, and then I can, check my Wi-Fi throughout the day till I get something. It's a little harder that way, but it's something, and I can, I still have that. So, and then I could even, or I could sell this phone to one of those little Walmart kiosk things, and just go get a cheap phone. I could probably do that too if I need to. But I definitely have to have some way to have communication, and I have to have a local number too, because I think that's also a thing affecting a lot of people like to hire locally, and if I come out with an out-of-state number, they're just going to think, hey, this person could be a scammer or something like that, or they're not even local. They could just try to get a deposit and take off, which I never do. I always say I don't want nothing till the job's done, or in my situation right now, I get paid daily sometimes if it's a smaller job. But I don't know, I just really hope that tonight is not like last night. I want to be able to sleep with nobody trying to break in this van. Luckily they didn't have a gun or nothing. Like if not, I would have died last night. It could easily happen, and it's a scary thought. So hopefully that sleeping here tonight's a little bit safer tonight than it was last night. But hopefully tonight might be my last night in the spot, and then I'll find a bit safer spot after that. I just want to conserve on fuel in case I do decide to go to Sarasota. like I said, it's just on the other side of Florida. It's a direct, almost a direct shot across. It's not very far. It's like a couple-hour drive. And we'll have the gas for that and stuff like that. I'm not asking for donations for fuel or nothing like that. But I think I can definitely get there. It won't leave me with much left over once I get there, but I'll have enough to get there. And like I said, I get my food stamps, and I can, I'll be all right for, at least a couple days. So I can try to figure out something in, well, probably about 4 or 5 days. And once I get there, and then hopefully by then I can find some work right away. I'll start posting ads as soon as I get there, and work on everything real hard again, and just get to a little bit safer area, because like I said, I never had to live it. Like I never lived homeless out here, so I didn't know what it was like. I had a home, or I had a boat that I lived on. It was 2 different areas. When I first got here, I was in a home, and then I was with this one lady for a couple of years, and once we broke up, I just went on my boat for a while, because I had a 40-foot sailboat, and until I lost everything and lost the boat and everything. But at least I had it, but I was on the water. I didn't, and then I left here, so I wasn't out on the streets, so it's not exactly the best place to be. If you guys are just tuning in, please make sure you like this stream, share it, subscribe, all that happy stuff for me. Anyways, there's, like I said, the beaches over there are way warmer and way nicer. The water, well, although I was very surprised at how warm the water was the other day, and when we went down, when I made that little post about Cocoa Beach area. And I will, if we do go drive down there, I will live stream it as well. If I can. I broke that stupid mount. I've got to see if I can't glue that. I'm not sure if I can or not. I wonder if I can get like little sticky things where this will just like stay right here while I drive or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But our little driving trips together are always fun. It's not going to be a long trip. I'm staying in Florida 100%. I'm not leaving Florida. I'm staying in the southern part of Florida. I just want to be in a safer area. I want to be able to go to sleep and know nobody's going to try to break into my freaking van. And I definitely, only place I can sleep right now, only parking lot available is this one right here, because Big Lots is closed down. If I park anywhere else, they'll kick me out of it. So unfortunately, here there's just nowhere to park. And I'm like right, that's the train tracks right there. On this side of the train tracks is where the bad area starts. And the other side of the train tracks, that's where the cops will help you. But it's very bad on this side. And it's funny how it just takes a train track, But that I'll show you right down this way a little bit. See, I don't know, you can see where that, you'll see our car coming around the corner in a second. We'll see where that car is coming right now. That is actually the entrance into the project, the home development projects over there. So it's like easy access. All they do is they walk from there to here, and it's easy. It makes this area not a very good area. It's not in the best spot. Let me try to tilt this up just a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. But it's, like I said, I want to be safe. I want to be, I want to go to sleep and not have somebody try to break into my stuff. And it sucks. So like I said, I got to keep the windows rolled all the way up here, because it's such a bad area that if I don't, they'll definitely try to get in the car while I'm sleeping or whatever, and that'll be bad. But it gets so hot at night still, because it's so muggy, so it's hard to sleep. So hopefully I can find a nice safe spot where I can at least crack the windows a bit, and I still can't keep them all the way down. That's not safe, but at least crack them or something, where I don't have to worry about people trying to get in my stuff. I mean, Florida in general isn't one of the safest states in the world, but this place is nuts. I just never believed that, the cops would do absolutely nothing. It's also, it doesn't look good that I'm homeless trying to say something, so, I mean, I called anonymously. I don't like putting my name out there, because then you're on paperwork, and in that paperwork, people would try to hunt you down if they're bad people, and I don't need all that, so. But, besides that, it's, not a whole lot going on. It's just back to work again tomorrow. I'll have some before and after pictures. I'll put those on a post as soon as I get done with it tomorrow, so you guys can see what we did over there. Yeah, me and the gentleman, the older guy that I'm working for, he's out there helping, kind of. He just kind of takes around a little bit when I do most of it, which is good anyways, because that's why he's hiring me, you know. But I already look so much better than it did, but it just got some finishing touch-ups to do, and I've got to dig out 2 more stumps. I've got 3 of them out already. I've got 2 more which I wanted to do a little cooler. So I'm gonna dig them, the first 2 out when I first get, the last 2 when I first get there, and then I'll just finish up the rest of the, you know, trimming up stuff and getting rid of any of the weeds and the overgrown brush and whatever. Pretty messy. It was pretty bad when I first got there. I already filled up his trailer once with just weeds and overgrowth. So probably have about 1 more load to go and then we'll be done. Shouldn't be a full day, but it'd be close to a full day, which is nice. I just wish gas would go down because gas is getting so dang on expensive again. Everybody else is having a very good day and all that, and this is probably going to be a shorter stream. I'm not ending it just yet, but it probably will be a shorter stream just because I'm tired and I've got to try. I did not sleep very much last night, so unfortunately I'm going to have to try to sleep when I can, and I know I'm going to keep waking up again because I'm going to be worried that somebody's going to try to break in the van again when I'm sleeping, and that just sucks. So like I said, I'm not ending it just yet, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay on either. But it's going to be 84 degrees tomorrow, so it's going to be pretty warm. So I'm glad to start early in the morning and get a fresh start before the heat starts, you know. I can get all the hard stuff done first, and then, you know, why it's, you know, later in the day and it's hotter, I'll get on to the easier stuff. So it should work out pretty well, hopefully. And then if I end up going down, driving down there, it'll probably be after work. Like I said, and we'll go live if I do that. I'm still gonna think about it tonight, but I just think it's the best option because easier and it's safer. And I wouldn't even thought about it really, honestly, until that person tried to break in the thing last night. But I just don't feel very good here. I know it's going to be very hard to sleep, and yeah, I'll definitely try to get my rest. I didn't sleep very good last night at all. I was up because that happened at like, I don't know, it was like 3:30 in the morning. So I stayed up after that. I've been up since, you know, 3:30 this morning, and it's just, you know, it wasn't very good at all. And I mean, like, the person was there after till like almost 5. Like, they were there for like an hour and a half, and I don't know if they drove by or if they even checked or whatever they did. But I know that I called them, and honestly, and I was like, here, I would like to, you know, just say I just said I drove by and somebody's trying to, you know, break into the building, because that's at the point he was ripping down boards from this building and hitting it with a pipe. That's crazy. And nobody did nothing. But that's what makes me more worried. Like, if they would have done something or whatever, and known that, but, you know, I'd feel a lot better. But knowing that I'm here and if something happens, they're not even going to do anything. That's kind of scary, you know. Like, I can handle my own business and all that, but if somebody's got a gun, which most people around here do, I'm not so well. I don't got one. But eventually, that's one thing I do want to stay up for, because I want security here. You know, I want to know I'm going to be all right. I mean, nothing's a guarantee, but you can't bring a sword to a gunfight. That would be dumb. It's not really a sword. It's like a kind of, I don't know. I'd have to show it to you guys one day. But it's pretty scary looking. It's like a machete, but it's shaped like, you know, but it's shaped like a sword, but it's like thin, like, and it has like that thin hand, that metal handle or whatever. But it's just, I don't know. But if I didn't have that, then he could have, you know, I mean, he had a metal pipe, so I'm just glad he didn't break my windows or nothing. Very, very glad. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. I know it's an early stream. Like I said, I'm exhausted. I really don't know what to say to ramble on any longer, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm so tired, and I'm going to try to sleep early in case that happens again. I'm up super early because something happens, that I can at least be, energized enough for work. And I will let you guys know what the plan is after work tomorrow. And like I said, I'll go live if we take a trip over there, and we can talk why I drive over there and whatnot. It's not that far of a drive. It's a pretty drive. Well, some of it's not, because some of it's going straight through the middle of Florida. The middle of Florida is just like farms. Nobody lives in the middle of Florida. It's all coastal. It's weird. Not a whole lot of anything besides Disney and whatever. You too, Witness. Take care. Good night, Kitten. You have a good night too. And hopefully everybody else, I appreciate you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. If you wish to support the channel, you know what to do. The links are right above you. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful night.